good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for another GABFEST. This week we are so excited but nervous at the same time, eh? You know, last week put another bar level over there. Sorry about that. Last week put another standard, eh? Everybody was so in love with last week's topic that how do you top that?
It was a nice controversial topic.
It was a very controversial topic, and we had so many comments and views, and I must just say people are asking for they want me to have some men on the show. So they want the exact
GABFEST?
Yeah, exact. They want the exact same topic, but they want to hear the man's version of it. So we'll discuss.
Makes for good content.
Exactly. It makes for good content, but it takes away, it's us gabbing, but then also it helps women.
It helps women in the sense that now we get a different perspective in
what they think.
To what they think, into what we perceive. So yeah, we're discussing their topics.
We'll blame the boyfriends, because every girl that watched it was the boyfriend that sent the link. So the boyfriends are like, we also want our say. But thank you so much for the support of last week. Very excited to jump into this week's topic as well, because it is something that we constantly speak about. As women, you know, there's always the guilt, not necessarily guilt, but the feeling of not being supported. So this week's topic is does support contribute to your success, right? So before we get into it, you know, I'm not going to say furniture. I actually need to get a different tagline.
I did think about it. I haven't come to a different tagline yet. So just this week, bear with me. I am furniture this week. Next week, I'll be something else. But as you know it, I'm always here.
Yeah, so, and then guys, I have such exciting news. We need to speak to Jay about the intro video. But we are so happy. Last week we made the joke about having a co-host. Yeah. And we are so excited to introduce Cleo.
Thank you.
As joining us every week from now on.
So I'm so excited about this.
We need to discuss now. What are you? Are you the chair? Are you the couch? We need to.
I know.
need to know.
Yeah, we need to fit into this space.
You need to fit into this space. But we are so excited, and thank you so much for availing yourself.
No, thank you.
You have been here for the year already, so
yeah.
Why not make it permanent?
I'm so happy to be here.
And then those that know, and even those that do not know, I am a semi-finalist in the Mrs. Universe Africa pageant.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And this week I am joined by my sister girls. And let me first introduce Dercia. Dercia, am I saying your name right?
Yes, you are.
Am I saying it right?
Yes.
I'm always so worried when I read it. I'm like, is it Dercia or is it Dercia? Or just introduce yourself the way you want us to say your name, please.
Just saying hi to everyone at home that is watching us. So my name is Dercia.
Dercia.
Yes, okay. Dercia. So it does kind of sound a bit different, because I know that everyone here tends to say Dercia. So yeah, it's a Portuguese name, that's why. So it's Dercia.
And she is from Mozambique. So when we say Mrs. Universe Africa, we mean Africa.
As a continent.
So thank you so much for availing yourself as well. Excited to hear your points. In the week we had a meeting, because we're having an event tomorrow, and we had a meeting, and she started speaking all these things. I'm like, whoa. Are you available? This is exactly what the topic is. Keep all your comments to yourself and bring it live. And then we've got Ezelle Andrews. Would you like to introduce yourself?
You already said my name. Hi everyone, I'm Ezelle Andrews, and I'm also a Mrs. Universe Africa semi-finalist.
Semi-finalist.
Yes.
And we are actually, you know, every week we have either influencer or a businesswoman on show. So we're going to take the time out to, you know, check ourselves out as well. So tomorrow we're having an event, right? Ezelle, do you want to elaborate on our event tomorrow?
Sure. So we're having a holistic wellness event. The aim really is we initially said it's ladies, and then we had men eager to join, so we said let them come. I mean, I think it's also so relevant to men and their mental wellness, because the event is aimed at holistic wellness, so spirit, body and soul. And what we really wanted to create with it is because we often get so wrapped up in the everyday life and you forget to take care of yourself. So we wanted to create a space where people can get away and just be refreshed in their spirits, in their bodies, and in their souls. So that is what the event is all about. We're excited though. We've got some speakers that's going to be talking on reflexology. So for those who doesn't know what reflex is, it's where you actually learn how to use pressure points on your feet, and they're going to teach the ladies how you can, but specific pressure points, relieve aches in your body, in your head, so forth and so forth. And then we're going to have people talking on mental wellness, beauty, fashion, makeup. By Dercia will be showing us how to do makeup. Dercia. I'm South African. It's Dercia. Anyway, so they're going to be talking on beauty and how you can put on your own makeup. We're going to have fashion segments. You know what the interesting thing is sometimes when people think fashion segments, like, how is someone going to teach me how to dress? But what I like about what Lorraine is going to be bringing to the topic is she's really going to be sharing on how your body shape, how you can dress for your body shape. And, you know, sometimes we don't necessarily know how we can explore. So we want to create that for ladies to just know that there's so much more to what you already know.
So like a fashion consultant, basically.
Exactly.
She is
exactly.
actually.
She is.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I miss anything else? I think, that's in a nutshell what
You
it's
guys
about.
must have very
Dercia
important.
Yes, just adding to that, we're also going to have some fitness tips. So we're going to have Jane, Coach Jane, that's going to be telling us a little bit about, you know, how to keep ourselves fit, what can we eat, and all those little tips on how to just maintain our bodies looking good and pretty.
And you guys are going to have some stalls out there as
Yes,
well.
obviously
Pop-up
you
stores.
won't forget
I
that.
can't, because I need to make sure that, you know, it's
There's somebody
known.
there to buy your product.
I'm just saying, not just that, I'm sure there's other people also that would like
Yes,
to
we
know.
do
you know.
have. We have a few pop-up stands. We've got
Shop closets.
shop closet that will be there. We've got some health products, collagen. We've got health. I won't say muti, but it's like
It's healing,
healing herbs.
healing herbs.
Herbs, yes. And then we've got a coffee. We've got a coffee stall. We've got juice bar. We've got smoothie bars. There's just so much.
And I must say that I did see some of the pictures Evangelique took. It's a very nice venue. So like if you come out and just to come see the place and, you know, take part in whatever you guys really.
And a live
it's nice.
band. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Very important.
And so that's what we're having tomorrow. If you are interested, please pop in.
Come and support, guys.
Yeah.
Really, let us all be there for one another and support these beautiful ladies. I mean, me too. Out here.
Hyping for the gum support. But let's get straight into it, right? So what do you guys think? Does support... Cleo, do you want to start with this? We've been speaking so much about it already, so just remember what we spoke about. But does support contribute to success?
Okay, so my short answer is yes, but my brain is like a spider diagram. So first of all, I feel like you have to ask yourself, what is success to you? Because success doesn't look the same to everyone. So if you like success in your personal life, you ask yourself like, okay, you do need support for that, because even from growing up, if you have parents that are supportive, like how people say your parents' voice, like the way you speak to your kids becomes the way they speak to themselves. That's the first place where it starts, and I feel like it runs through straight with even in your career. Even if we run it down to what you guys are doing, you guys need support to get high into is it a competition?
It
The
is a
pageant?
competition,
Yes.
It's a
So-
pageant, which is a competition.
a lot of people, even in those things, they put pressure now, especially with social media, like you have to get this many votes or likes or whatever. But I also feel like it boils down to you as a person and your relationship with yourself. Like I said, how you define success. And there's people that don't get success and they use that to fuel themselves to do better.
Yeah.
So you could also look at it from that aspect, I feel.
Like it's a motivation.
I was saying yesterday though, but it can be guys jump in whenever. It can be a motivation as well, but sometimes it can go ugly in terms of if you do something and you have nobody supporting you in a specific way. let's say support always that we expect is always from family members. We were speaking in the week about family members that don't come to the party when you expect them to come to the party, but had it been free, they would be all up in arms. But there's always an excuse coming from somewhere. But then you go with the mindset of, I will show you.
Yeah.
I can do it without you. And then that's when it can become toxic and your goals somewhat get derailed, because now you're not doing it for yourself anymore and the success.
To show others.
It's now to show, I told you I can do this without you. Watch me now.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Everything in life, I feel that there must be balance, good doses of something, because if there's too much of something, it just turns out bad. I mean, for me, I think it also depends on which area you're talking about being successful in. Like me starting my business, I had to learn very early on. It doesn't come from those who you expect. There's one person who supports me through and through, and it's Evangelique. Like it can be the funniest thing.
Wearing shop
Evangelique.
closets right
No,
now.
outfit.
Outfit.
Shop closet. So what I'm saying is, and I'm extremely grateful for that. However, there's so many other family members, and I had to learn from a very early on in the game. It's not going to come from there. If you expect that to be your support and that to be your success, it's not going to be successful. You need to be willing to push yourself out there. So I think in not so much as to show the other people, but to prove to yourself, look, I can be successful. I can do this.
Absolutely. Listen, I think just from my own experience, I've gone through rough patches and times in life. So for me, I've learned that, you know what, I need to be able, like you said, in different areas of life, but in all those different areas of life, it's important that we need to be our own supporter first.
Yeah.
So we need to learn to support ourselves. We need to learn to tell ourselves, well done. I mean, every day I get to wake up in the morning and jump out of bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. Because, I mean, there are days that we just stay in bed and we sink in and we don't even want to get up. So it's really important that we actually tell ourselves every day, well done for all the little things that we do.
Yeah.
So it's important that we support ourselves, because, I mean, if we are waiting for people to support us, if we are waiting to hear from people's, I know that sometimes we just want to hear that well done from your mom, from your husband, from whoever it is. It's just important that we learn to do that for ourselves. So we need to start doing things for ourselves. We need to start supporting ourselves, and we need to start congratulating ourselves for every little thing that we do. Because if we're waiting for people to do that for us, we start getting into that mode of depression, because then we are having expectations that, you know, Ezelle needs to come and buy my drink, because now I've started my new business of selling drinks, but Ezelle is not coming, you know, and I'm like, but Ezelle should come and support me. I mean, these are my friends. They're supposed to come and buy my drink, and they're not coming. So I think the most important thing is for us to start getting out of that mode of expecting things to do people to do things for us. I mean, if people do, we were having this talk during the week that I said there was a time that I was in a very dark place, and I found this quote that says, "No one owes you anything," and I think that was my breakthrough. It just freed myself from everything, and from that moment on, and this is not something that happens overnight. You need to wake up every single day and tell yourself, no one owes me anything. No one owes me anything. If Ezelle sends me a message and she checks on me, thank you for doing that. She does not owe me that.
Yeah, it's not a sense of entitlement.
Yes, it's not a sense of entitlement. So if anybody does something for you, you should be grateful for that.
Yes.
But no one owes you to do anything. I mean, even with our parents, our husbands, and everything at home, I mean, they don't owe us to support us.
Yeah.
The moment you support yourself and you start doing things for yourself, the people around you, they'll actually see, oh, wow, she's doing so well, she's doing so great, she can do this. And then they actually come around and they start supporting you, because they can see that you're actually supporting yourself. So I think the first thing that we need to learn is to do things for ourselves and support ourselves first.
I love that.
agree with
I
that.
absolutely love that. If I could just say something, because I think one of the things when we started this Mrs. Universe pageant, one of the things that when we had the workshop that really stood out for me was remember your why. And you need to know why you are doing what you are doing. So when then people don't support you, you don't lose the focus. You don't lose or forget what the reason is behind you doing what you are doing. So what you're saying, and then you also free people from that, or you free yourself rather from being feeling resentful when people don't show up. Because oftentimes when you have that, people should be there and they're not there, then you tend to resent them.
Yeah.
And you don't physically say it, but it
starts growing.
It starts
It grows,
growing
yeah.
in your heart. But when you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, like for me, I know why I entered. I know what God's purpose is for me. Nobody is entitled to support me. God will send the people to walk with me. And that's what I always believe that. Even I remember a businessman once said something and it stuck with me. He said when he started his business, his target market wasn't his family. His target market wasn't the people he knew. So you also need to allow yourself to let God send the people or whoever your target market is into your space, because by expecting only certain people, you're limiting yourself because there's so much more and there's a wider reach. So yes, it's nice to have the people we know support us. Yes, it's nice to have your family, but there's somebody else that needs to be, whether it's a clothing brand or whether it's whatever it is you're doing. Remember what you've been called to do is not necessarily for the people you know.
And your
Yeah.
people will find you.
Yeah,
People
and
will find you.
exactly.
Yeah. I really love that mindset, because I was saying to Vange actually that I feel like we've been programmed to seek validation from outsiders. So if you find yourself in that space, you immediately have to check yourself and call yourself back to yourself and start, like you were saying, support yourself, be there for yourself every day, see yourself through everything. But the other thing is also we have to remember that we need people. I'm somebody like, I'm very proud, and I always thought like I can do this on my own, I don't need anyone's help. But you actually grow so much quicker when you have support and when you have that collaboration with people, and you find that the ideas and everything expands so much further than that you would even be able to comprehend on your own, because we're all different and we all bring our own special flavor.
And on that note, I also wanted to say, as much as you need to know your why, and you can't be dependent on the people around you or your family. For me, this is just a shout out to the family. You must come to the party, and you can come to the party because yes, we do need it.
And you don't just have to support with your finances.
Yes, you don't, because the reality of the matter is, yes, we do want that. We're not saying that we're okay without it. We say that we have to learn to live without it if it's not there. But we'd appreciate it if it is there, for it to be there, For instance, when I was starting this thing, and the only person in the family that's close by now is Evangelique. Yes, it is a booster. Evangelique was the one that shoved me over the edge and said, Anka, just do it. Because I was like, oh, no, this, and oh, no, I don't have enough of that. And Evangelie's like, you forever going to have an excuse. You're forever going to just stand there. So what I'm saying is that hadn't it been for that support, I would have probably still been starting my business that I've been starting for 2 years now. So what I'm saying is that I think it's important for family to be that support as well. Even though it's not your thing, even though it's not your passion, just take a little bit out for the next person, for the next family member, because I'm sure they would appreciate that, because I'm sure they do that the same for you.
Yeah, but I also wanted to ask you guys, what's your take, as much as find your why, as much as learn to appreciate yourself, as much as give yourself that pat, or you made it this far, what does it do to you mentally? Like, because everybody goes on mental health, but we keep speaking about depression, and we know that's not the only thing that causes your mental health to cripple. Yeah. So when you do go out and do something and you feel like, oh, I'm just not getting that, because sometimes you didn't even start your business yet. Sometimes you just mention an idea, and maybe the person you expected to say, yeah, that sounds good, go for it. But then maybe the person will say, but where are you going to get the money to start that? Or, certain things like, this is what you have now, but this is what we need to pay now. Don't you want to wait until we're a bit more financially stable, if it is a partner, or
then
if it is a friend, you start to doubt your own goals and your own dreams. So what does that do to you mentally as well as a person? Because at the end of the day, as much as you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do, You need at least one person to believe with you that it's possible, that when those dark days do come, there is somebody that says, come, you've been dreaming about this for 5 years, get up and go. But if you don't get that, what does it do to you mentally? Because for me personally, when I don't get support, I feel like, is this actually really for me?
I hear what you're saying, and it's a very good point. But that's why you need a mentor. I think we all need a mentor. We all need someone that you can go to. And I agree with what you say. No man is an island. You can't grow on your own. And sometimes with God, or whatever your purpose is so much bigger than yourself. You need to collaborate with other people. You need to, that's one thing I love doing. I like reaching out to people that I don't know from a bar of soap. But if I see something in them, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to say, let's do something. Let me learn from you. And I feel sometimes it's also important for you to take the responsibility to reach out to someone. If you don't have anyone in your circle that's being that for you, then you take that initiative upon yourself and go find someone. Find someone that you look up to and say, listen, can you help me? This is what I want to do. Because I agree, you need that, but you don't always get it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to now let go of it and just stay in that space? Or are you going to say, okay, fine. Whether you're going to pray about it, whatever, but you need to take that initiative upon yourself and say, I'm going to find, because you need a mentor. You need someone, whether it's a coach, whether it's a mentor, someone that's going to speak into your life, someone that's going to build you up, because we need that.
That, and also someone that's already walked the journey already. So they know what to sidestep, they know the potholes, they know, a lot of, they're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be the closest thing to it. So it's very important to have that edge, edge, but the nudge going forward.
Absolutely. I think, especially for us ladies, I think we are just that kind of a human
emotional
being. That,
beings.
yes, we are very emotional, and we always need, to have that sisterhood that we so much talk about it, and it's very important. It does, like you were saying before, it does temper a lot with our mental health, because the moment we do not get that recognition, or we do not get that support that we are looking for, that we really want, and it starts tempering with our mind, and we start telling ourselves how not good enough, we are not good enough, I'm not good enough of this, I can't do this, I can't do that. But in the same process, it's important that we start meditating a lot about this. I remember that there was a time that I wanted this. I have this friend of mine that I literally would call her for anything and everything. Every time I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna call her, just double check. My speech, just double check. I was constantly waiting for her to just give me an approval and tell me, yes, it's good. I knew it was good.
Yes, deep down you always know, but you want that
but you just
confirmation,
want that information. And and then this friend actually moved away, and I think it was the best thing, that could have happened, because then I had to learn to do things for myself. I had to learn to say, okay, this is what I've done and this is what I'm going to use. I don't really have to sit here and wait for someone to, sometimes I would even be late, to hand out stuff, because I'm waiting for someone to tell me, yes, it's good,
Yeah.
So
opportunities pass, waiting for that
opportunities
approval.
pass because you're waiting for that approval. You want that someone to tell you. So I think we just have to also learn to take it up on ourselves and just go ahead and throw it. For me, it's much easier now to literally go there, do something. If I stumble, if I get it wrong, it's okay. I've learned. I'm growing. I'm moving on. Because, if we never make mistakes, we're never going to grow. We need to fail. We need to do wrong things so that we can be able to grow and fix ourselves and do better.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just to jump on that also, like I said earlier, that it's so important for there to be balance. So you must know your why and you must know all of that things. But there must be an element as well where there is a mentor, where you allow people to speak into your life. And I think that's where we sort of like struggle, finding that balance.
And also correct you, like speaking to your life, because sometimes you think I'm doing this, I've got it going. And you need sometimes just bring you to the ground and remind you, listen, you need that.
Yeah, you do.
But also sometimes you look for the validation in the wrong person. Because as women, you know, as much as we claim sisterhood, there is not always sisterhood. You could be speaking and giving an idea and, you know, working on it. And next thing you see, boom, here's your validation having their own event that was exactly what you were trying to find approval for. And so many times we fall into that trap as well because we're that desperate for the support that we share so much of our dreams and our goals. And then by the time we're ready, or not even ready, you keep telling yourself, okay, next week. And by the time next week comes, somebody's already jumped on your idea. It may not even be the person that you spoke to. But you know, everybody sometimes has the same idea. It's just who jumps in at the right moment that makes a success out of it. So what's your take on that as well?
I have a question.
Okay.
And now I'm happy that there's so many of us here so that we can all get different opinions. Yes. So for example, you have a business and you have worked your ass off getting your suppliers for months. And somebody comes in and is like, okay, where did you get that? Who is your supplier? So now you want to help the next person, or are you going to gatekeep that information? What is the correct way to go about it?
So you're not being the person wanting the support, but you need to give support, but also not give all your tips and tricks.
Yes,
in the
because that also comes
business.
with, you've learned that over the years through your own mistakes and your own experiences. Like, if I heard correctly, Dercia, they said that you do makeup.
Yes.
This industry with because I also do makeup, it's very cutthroat, I wanted to say, because everyone is trying to do their own thing, and it's like there's enough clients for everybody, but you're just so protective of
what you've worked for.
Yes, what you've worked for and what you are working on. And to get, like, when I just started, it was very difficult for me to find somebody that actually was willing to give me the information or help me out with what do I do next. And that's
push.
Yes, that's something that I haven't had. So I feel like I've worked so many, like, over the years, and now I kind of understand why people are not so willing to just freely give out information. People are having courses like, if you want this information, you must pay for it. Yes. So how do you go about finding the balance in that sense?
The way I've been in this situation multiple times.
Do you want to say?
You know what? This is something personal to me. You know, I've learned that I'm a giver. You know, so I'm that kind of a person that I give everything. So if you come to me, listen, I'm doing this business, you're doing the same, can you please hook me up, help me out with this? And then I will gladly help you, and I'll give you everything. I'll even give you the tips, the roots, everything, literally. Talking about now this industry, the beauty industry that we are in, I know a lot of people are like, oh no, because you're going to steal my clients. This one's going to take my clients away. I like to believe that, you know, there is clients for everyone. You're not going to take my clients away. You know, I've got my own clientele. I've got the people that I cater for. If I've had a lot of people literally, because I had to train a lot of people to work with me, because I'm at this point now where I have people working with me. So I had to train people, and people were like, oh my gosh, why are you training people? You're just going to train them and then they're going to leave you. They're going to go. And I'm like, but that's the whole point. We all want to grow. No one wants to work forever. So at some point, at someone, I've also worked, you know. So at some point, one wants to listen. If they're going to steal them, they were never mine. So what's mine will find me. So whatever it's meant for you, you'll have it. So if you need help, whatever, anything, I'm just a giver. I give everything away, all the tips.
But what you said in the beginning is also so important. Know who you are. Am I in this to help the next person? Am I in it? Is my personality like business? Or am I a little bit of both? How does it go? So I would say, you know, also me being in the industry, I ask the person, what's your budget? And then there's two people, Cleo or Lucian. I'm like, so what's your budget? Because there is a crowd or a client for everybody. But I would say for you personally, in terms of when it comes to supporting somebody else, you need to see if there's worth in it as well. I've had many a times also where somebody came to me, one specific person, and said, please can you teach me and show me where you get all your things? I need to make money.
Okay.
And that's where I was like, because if you know my personality, I start something, you start it with me, and I leave it to you, and I move on to the next thing. And that has been my fail in life. As much as I help someone else, they've outgrown me, if that makes sense. So it's also important that when you do give, make sure that in that sense, you then have somebody to grow you. Because you can't always be the person that's giving,
Yeah.
and you say stay stagnant, but everybody you giving to is moving up. So I would always just say that if you do that, where you give, make sure there's somebody that allows you to grow as well.
Yeah.
But then also in terms of if your personality is to give, also know where's your balance. I want to help you, but I see you struggling. Usually I would charge 2,000 Rand, but for you I'd charge 500 Rand. Those kind of things. That's when the spirit of discernment also comes
I was
in
going to say
big time.
that's exactly what you need. You need to discern. And I don't feel like it's a one-size-all-fits situation for everything. It's different situations. So you need to also apply wisdom, and you need to know, okay, is this the right time to help someone? Discern the situation, because I don't feel like you can say, I'm going to do... Ultimately, you can't save everybody. You can't do everything for everyone.
Yeah.
So you need to also know, okay, a balance. Find a balance to know when to help, how to help, and to help with what you can.
And just boundaries to protect
exactly,
yourself.
and boundaries to protect yourself, yeah.
Okay.
But I also think that lost my train of thought. Sorry. Yeah, I also think that you've worked very hard. You've done the research. You've tried to find out, where you can get certain things, how to progress. So what I found working with people, and when you give things just freely, people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
People take it for granted as well. So there must be an element, like you said, the 500 Rand and the 2,000 Rand package. They must be willing to invest in themselves as well. To grow. And then they must be willing to acknowledge that you are a professional as well. You've taken the time, you've spent the money, you've done the journey. So some of that must be acknowledged. So I do agree that there must be an element of an incentive. Just to balance things out. I think for me, my journey was a little bit different, because when I started my business, everyone started doing it. Literally everyone. Instagram was flooded with it. And I had a few people approach me, and I did help a few people to the point where they actually sold the products from my supplier to me at their prices. I was like, I know we must support each other, but none of them lasted. So it was a matter, I showed you where to get it. I showed you, but if it's not for you, it's not going to go anywhere. If this is not something that's your passion, that's your drive, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be there for a little while because you say you want to make money. Then you realize there's actually a lot of work that goes into this. There's time that goes into this, research that goes into this. There's work. So then people, they become flaky, and then they just
I do feel like a lot of people are glamorizing entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's a lot
Absolutely.
It's
that goes in.
Instagram.
It's very taxing. Yes. Mentally,
Instagram wants
physically.
to show all this unboxing and all those kind of things, but the work that's behind
It's
it,
a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
And you need a mindset for it.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
I think sometimes people forget the mindset part of it, because without the right mindset, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly what you said. When I actually help people out, it's up to you what you're going to do with it. Because, not everyone is there. Not everything is for everyone. People want to sell clothes because they're seeing everyone is selling clothes and people are making money. People want to do makeup because everyone is doing makeup and seems. Listen. People are not making, it seems like people are making money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's more or less like you're giving someone wants to start a business, and you're like, yeah, here's a business plan, go ahead with it. And then see where they'll get with that, because it's not for everyone. So basically, I'm giving you the tools. Yes, here, go and get it started.
Yeah.
then, it's not for everyone. It's just not for everyone.
Then you need to find out, it takes my time. I need to get into my car and go there. I need to take time out from my family. I need to stand there for an hour. I need to, know my techniques and stuff. And then when I'm there, the person doesn't either want to pay or they're unhappy. You have to deal with customer service. There's a lot that goes. And if it's not your personality, it's not something that you don't want to put up with it. I don't have time for this. Please, I'm out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I know a lot about that. I mean, being in this business industry, I think you should know as well that, you're going to get a lot of difficult clients and you need to be ready and prepared to deal with everything and anything.
I know. COVID was the one that I was like, I'm out. Because they made you feel like a cockroach in the house. Stand there in your mask and you're like, okay, can I walk in now?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. It also works on you, like, because yes, you're a client, but I'm human too.
Yeah.
But you raise a very important point. Sometimes the way people make you feel, like you owe them something, like you have to support. I know I'm just flipping it around. We're talking about support. Do you want your family to support you? But many times you starting a clothing range, your family will come and because they're family, they expect discounts. Or because I'm your friend, they expect discounts. Or because I know you, I expect favors. So that entitlement comes and, it makes it even so difficult. COVID pricing, or like how they make.
That's my weakness. Like if a family member or friends like, hey, I want to book you. In my mind, I immediately have a friends and family discount. But it shouldn't be that way. With them being your friends or your family, they should want to.
You at least have a discount. I'm like, it's fine. It will be my gift.
No, I'm that kind of a person that I'm like, listen, if you are my friend, if you are my family, you are going to support me. You're not going to come here and ask for discounts or anything like that. You're going to come and you are going to pay the full price to show how much you're supporting me.
My question.
And listen, now when they start calling me and I already know these people, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm so fully booked.
In the meantime, you're Netflixing.
I just want to ask though, how do they expect you to flourish when it's always half price, it's always discounted prices? Like when they should be the ones to support you. I have a friend, she'll tell you straight, and she supports me through everything. She pays full price, and she also tells her family members, if you're gonna buy, you must buy. She tells them you must buy and you must pay full price.
They
And
actually pay more because they're family.
Yeah, not end of the month now, you must pay now. So, you need to have
But
a
that
couple of those
becomes important where you said in the beginning, know who your target market is. Don't start a business with your target market being
Friends
your
and
family.
Then you'll never grow. Grow. So it's very important. You need to have a target market. I think this is also one thing. This is when it comes to your business plan, because a lot of people they just want to do business. They don't have a business plan. They don't even know what a business plan is.
Because they just want to make money.
Yes, they just want to
make
make money. So it's important to have a business plan. I mean, some of us sat down and planned it and drew everything that we wanted to do, how it was going to be, how it was going to affect people, what's your target people, and all of those things. And that's something that people don't think about it. They think that, you know what, I can just start doing makeup tomorrow and then I can just go to people, do makeup. I've got 50 friends, so I'm just going to start doing makeup for my 50 friends, and that's a business going on. I'll be rich.
living my best life.
But that's also why I like that. There's this thing that's going around on Instagram that's showing you different ways to support someone. Like, it doesn't have to be with your money or buying a product or booking or whatever. You can like a post, share it, save it. And sometimes even the people that you thought would do, even those things don't do that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't cost anything.
That costs nothing.
It doesn't cost anything. That's why I said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be financial support. It's even just a phone call. Nobody needs to know you called me just to say, good luck for today. I hope it's a success. I pray it's a success or something like that. But I wanted to ask you, we're all human. Woman. We're all women. And with the whole support thing, what are the kind of things you expect support, like, should I say people you expect support from? Is it your partner? Is it the friends? Is it the family? Is it the one, your childhood friend? What is the kind of people, if we can just name a few, that you expect to support you to actually move forward in life? Like for me, my biggest thing is I expect my husband to support me.
I was going to say now, it will definitely probably be my husband,
A definite
my mother.
must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter's old enough to support me, so
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because I mean, is that person that lives there right next to
So
you
I was
every
about
day?
to say, we keep saying sisterhood, sisterhood.
Yeah,
but
but-
when you're in a relationship, support is different. Because now it's everyday support. It's not the just say when I start, good luck. It
Yeah.
becomes their financial burden as well. It becomes their mental burden as well. Because if you're having a bad day or something like that, it's a ripple effect on the rest of the family. Just your input on that.
I think
Yeah, go.
basically is just that person that is there with you every day, your husband, your partner, whoever. I think that's the first person that needs to support. I mean, every time is a discussion is, listen, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think about it? How should we go about it? How can we make it work? And this, because I mean, that's the person, like you were saying, that's going to be with you every day, supporting you mentally, physically, financially, everything. Should your business doesn't kick off, because, you know, then what do we do if your project is not working the way it's up? So I think that's your first project, that's your first point of support.
Yeah.
And then the rest just follows through. But it's your first point of support.
For me, just on the husband part, I think I remember when I did Mrs. South Africa a few years ago, I put a lot of unnecessary expectations on my husband. Because I think because of that thing, like it's your husband, he must support you, must support me. But I think this time around, I think I'm a bit wiser in that sense that, you know, support looks different. Because for support to me, it's like when I need to go to an event, he's there helping with the kids. Support is exactly when you're sharing an idea, him encouraging me and saying to me, you've got this, you know. It doesn't necessarily always mean him sharing something on Facebook or him, because he might not be a social media person. He's not that type of person. So it really just knowing that he's there, he's supporting me, he's listening to me, he's helping and filling the gaps where, you know, we need to. And I feel that's where I really appreciate my husband in the support sense so much now, because he's really hands-on when I'm not able to with the kids, as an example. When I can't cook, he can cook. You know, those things that we take for, and that's the support that means so much.
I think maybe that even also ties in with like your specific love language.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they could think they're doing their best, but it's not actually what you need. So you appreciate it, but you're thinking to yourself like, actually, if you could maybe rather do this, I would feel much more supported, you know. But I also agree, like, in my personal situation, my partner is extremely supportive. So in that sense, I sometimes feel like I don't even need anyone else to support me, because he's there with me every day. I can bounce ideas off him. And at first we would clash, because I'd tell him an idea and then he would tell me in all the ways
They give
it
you the
could
risk
fail.
management.
Yes. And I would get so upset. But then after a while I grew into that and I was like, okay, this is where I need to make sure that it can't fail, because he's made me aware of those things. So I do think if you are in a relationship,
that's the biggest support.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your support is there. They're in your periphery, like vision. They see the things that you don't see.
Yes.
And which is why it's important that you have a healthy support system. I mean, that's my husband. I personally believe that I need to be that support for him. I need to make sure that I see all the blind spots and all of that stuff. And it also boils down to what is your relationship, your communication relationship with your support system. For me, it's like I'm not a negative well, I can't say I'm not a negative person, but I look at all the could be's and maybes and ifs and whatnots, and I lay them on the table and I say, I'm not saying don't do this. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not in support of this, but this is what I see. How do you see we can overcome this? Now we should chat it through. So for me, I expect the same on my side. Don't just say, oh, I don't think it's going to work. Or, oh, no, I don't like it. If you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it. Tell me what are the dangers that you see, so that we can work through this and say, okay, but I really want to do this. And I'm taking this journey for me. How can you be supportive? Now you have an open communication to say, okay, fine.
But it's also the way you say it. Like with me now, don't just come to me and say it's not going to work because A, B, and C. First, secure my mindset.
Affirm who you are.
Yo, tell me, like, this is what you're good at.
So come with a compliment before you come.
Become with the
Yes,
because
that is
for
also
me,
my main thing.
like
You're gonna
with
doubt
that
yourself.
we were speaking about now.
Yes.
With me, I don't want to hear it's not gonna work because of time. It's not gonna work because of this. It's not gonna work because of that. So with my situation, I would say not my situation. With my personality, I would say like first comfort me in a way where you compliment my achievements
Or effort.
efforts based on what we're speaking about. Don't now compliment me about my outfit, but now you're gonna tell me
Yeah.
why it's not
patronize
gonna
me.
work. Yeah. But secure my mind first that it is a good idea, that it could work, and then don't say but. Don't use the word but
Yes.
with me.
Yeah.
Like
You
my
can
husband
for
always says to
everything.
me, everything you just said after the but is nullified.
Yeah.
So now then
That
don't
is
say
me.
but to me. Say all the things and then maybe say, although we could work on, can't you do it at a later time? Or can't you get in somebody that can help in this area? Or that kind of thing. That's my kind of support. I don't like it if you just tell me it's wrong.
Yeah.
And don't just tell me it's right either. I
Yeah.
don't just like when you say yeah, because then it feels like you're not supporting me,
Yeah.
you're keeping me quiet.
It must be
And go on with your day.
constructive
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think also just adding a little bit to what all of you guys said, I mean, in terms of support, I think communication is important. Communication is important because when we don't have that communication, then things become a bit difficult. I mean, with my husband, this guy's been, I mean, a bliss in my life. I remember even when I started studying, I mean, he would stay with the kids while I go do this. I mean, even now, I mean, with this pageant that we're doing now, I mean, I'm having to travel a lot. And every time I travel, he's there taking the kids to school, picking them up, taking them to extramural and all of those things and making sure that everything is in order. So I think that's the support that we need above everything.
Guys, I'm sorry now, but this week we didn't do cocktail thingy before we started. But this week's cocktail, guys, it was really good. Look at everybody. Anka, your cup is not doing
I
too
don't know if
good.
anyone noticed, I was having a moment where I felt like I'm choking. So I'm like sipping it.
But this can show you. This shows you. You know, the past few weeks my glass has been staying full.
I just want to say, me and Evangelique have different tastes. I like sweet things, and she likes,
This has got a more bitter taste.
Bitter.
yeah, she likes
Yeah,
that type of
she's,
taste.
Do you guys?
So,
Okay. Do you guys feel it?
Feel what?
This.
Oh,
Wait,
I
are you
really
on
like
Anka's
it.
side? Anka's not feeling
I
it.
really like it.
Yeah,
I like
it
it, I
has
just
a
need
bit
more
of
sugar.
a bitter taste, but it's good. I think it's perfect. I mean, the sweetness is just on point. Anything sweeter than this,
you see,
then
you
I would
guys,
do with a little
You must
bit
just
more
take the
sweet.
sugar around and just mix it
yeah,
in.
mix it in. Like I've
Take
got
your sugar off.
like we'll make coffee or tea, and I've got this habit because I drink 2 sugars. Guys, don't judge. I need the sweetness in my life. And then I'll make for Evangelique, but then I'll put in, and then she's like, I can't drink this. What must I do with this? This is just you put the coffee in the sugar instead of the sugar in the coffee.
It's a nightmare. Just give me the coffee with nothing.
Like I can't deal.
Taste the coffee. Okay, but back to the point of today with the support thing. I know in the beginning we were saying also about finding your why and you and everything. Just in terms of you giving up on goals because you didn't have the support that you expected. Do you guys have anything you would like to share? You have a personal experience where you had this thing and it was like, I'm ready to take this on, but one person just said something and you doubted yourself to such an extent that you gave up on the whole thing? No one.
Sure.
Wow.
I honestly can't think of.
Nothing.
I feel I don't that I can think of. Like I've had other things that have failed, but it's because of me, and I wasn't trusting myself enough. But even when I was telling people, hey, I'm gonna be a makeup artist, people are like, what? Why?
As your full-time job. So what do you do
Yeah.
during the
So
week?
how do you survive?
The life we grew up in, that was taboo. So
Yeah,
So
like
I'm-
people don't really get it, but I'm so glad that I've managed to push through and that I had the few people that were supporting me, because like even this conversation has made me realize how important that the support actually was going through the journey.
Just what she was saying on that. So where I've had it is not necessarily I gave up on it, but it does discourage you. It's like, for example, last year, our company went through retrenchment, and I knew it was my season to leave. So I took the voluntary retrenchment because I felt like I need to start my own thing. And I did. But the feedback I got was not necessarily encouraging to say, do it. You know, like, I'm not going to, but, you know, you get people very close to you saying, are you crazy? Like, you can't, you know, like, you get that. And if I allowed it, I probably would have let it deter me. But I think it's also, I must say, for me, my relationship with God is like, I always go back to him, you know, and he always sends the right people to encourage me and to support me. And I feel like I don't let it always it does affect you mentally to an extent, you know, we're human, and sometimes it does, the emotions come and you do feel discouraged by it. But I think when you've now allowed yourself to feel that, you now need to make a choice. Am I going to stay there or am I going to get up? You know, and that's the thing. We're going to have those seasons where you feel like, oh, maybe it's not working. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I must just go back and find a job. Maybe I must, but are you going to stay in that place or are you going to get up?
Yeah.
Makes the difference.
Okay, and then we're talking about just like positive support. I want to know about negative support as well. There is times when people are on the right track, but they surround themselves with the wrong people. Toxic people, whether it even be a relationship. Because we're not just talking success in business, success in your family, success in any venture of life. There is people you do tend to sometimes also surround yourself with that derail you from what is good.
Fruit apples.
Exactly. Whether it be a family member that... in terms of your husband was always there for you, and then they're around the wrong crowd, and then it turns into something where he doesn't believe he needs to do certain things anymore. It could be in business where you have this whole mindset of I'm business first and then party later.
Yeah.
And you surround yourself with people that party first and business later, but we're all different in many ways, but then that could also derail you. Your take?
Yeah, that's why I said earlier that it's important for you to surround yourself with the right type of people. And I know sometimes it's difficult for us to even spot them. It is important for us to look at that. And that goes back, and we keep on saying, we'll sound like a broken record, is knowing your why, so that you can scout out who that mentor is.
But going to that also, sometimes you do go through something. And the people that is supportive. For me, for example, I can say I grew up in church, right? But there was a time I went through a lot. But the people who supported me was not church people. It was people that's in the world. Come, let's go here. Let's go there. I don't want to say in the world, like let's go someplace.
What if they take you to the cloud that you go?
Yeah, you know in context. It was the people that would say, "Come, let's go chill at this one's house," and you know what happens at this one's house, and those kind of things. But then it did derail me from certain goals and aspirations that I had beforehand. But it was my support structure at the moment, and they did get me out of
Kind of distracted
a time
you from
in
what
my
you-
life. Yes, because that's a perfect word.
Yeah,
It distracted me.
Yeah.
So though it distracted in one area, it took away from 5 other areas. You were about
you
to
can,
say something.
yeah, you can even, like if you bring it to another aspect of something like confidence, and you say, surround yourself with the right people. Sometimes it's even your closest people, like your family, that will make comments or say something about
Asking
whether
you
it's
about your weight
physical or a personality trait, and then all of a sudden you're insecure about this thing and you start hiding it. If you're not around... What you
Me holding my forehead.
I can't even start that conversation because it was a family member that used to tease me about it, and for years I couldn't get over it. I had to get married to get over it. So
I think also just adding up to all what you guys have said, I think is important. I think we have different type of people in our lives, and we need to be able, seasonal, and we need to be able to put them in certain places. So I know that there are certain things, when I have a certain issue, I can come and talk to Eve. So I know that there are certain things that if I need advice or something, I can talk to Ezelle. So it's just being able to know that, okay, these are my go-to people when I need to do this kind of thing, and these are my
Yes.
go-to people.
Like you
because sometimes is you going to look for support at the wrong person, and that's where everything kind of like stumbles.
And I think it's also, sorry to interrupt you, I think it's also to do with the person that you're going to, and like they say, like people can only meet you as far as they've met themselves. So if you need to figure out who, like you're saying, is the right person to go to for those things, because sometimes you'll think that this person is supposed to support you in this specific thing, but they just not able to get to that place, and that's to do with them and nothing really to do with you.
But that's where I want to ask the question is, it's easy for us to sit here, and I know I'm one of those people, easy to sit here and say, find your right support, find the right people that aren't toxic. The question here is, how do you find this right? Because I mean, if I'm looking for support, I'm not gonna look for, oh, this looks like a red flag. I'm just gonna look for support. So like for me, I'm asking the question, how for someone who's in a toxic relationship? So earlier when you referred the question to me, it was difficult for me to answer because I didn't have distractions. Like I'm a type of person, if it looks like it's scary, I'm not gonna touch it. If it looks like it's adventurous, you know me. I stick to what I know.
Yeah.
I go to the same restaurants and I order the same thing, That's my personality type. So for those out there that doesn't know how to spot the right person, because if you're feeling a bit distracted and this person makes you feel good, you're not going to say it's toxic. You're not going to view it as, oof, where's this going to lead me? You're going to, I feel good right now.
I think if you work on being authentic and just being yourself fully, and not caring about opinions and all of that, you tend to draw those people to you. And it's obviously not as easy as I'm making it sound. It's a journey that you go through in your personal life. And yeah, like I feel like that's the easiest answer. But
Be grounded.
It is,
Yeah, just
absolutely.
be authentic.
Exactly what you're saying, Chloe. I think it's a journey, because this is what a lot of us don't understand. It's a journey. So I know how people like to say to me, oh, Tash, you are so brave. Oh, you are doing this. But people don't know the journey that it took you to get there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
To get that confidence.
To get
and
to that
bravery.
confidence and that braveness and all of that. So it's literally a journey. It's a life journey. For a person to be sitting there and be that confident, it comes from somewhere. That person could have been so broken, so down at some point, and found something that really lift them up. It turned out to be the person that they are. So all of these things, I mean, we can talk the whole day about this thing, but it all starts with us. So we need to start, that
Really
internal.
for yourself.
Yes. Start seeking all of those things in ourselves. Literally everything that we spoke about here, it's something that needs to start within us.
Yes.
So we need to start working on ourselves. We need to start working through all our emotions and everything. And you'll see, you'll attract, once you're in a good space in your life, you'll only attract good. So literally everything, you just attract good. And yes.
And I just wanted to say, the reality is we live in a world that's crazy, and not everybody's going to encourage you. Not everybody's going to support you. But I always remind myself, everybody needs a Judas. You need that. And sometimes it comes. No, it does. No, seriously, because sometimes it's in the form of a family member. Sometimes it is.
It's true.
It's in the form of.
It is a reality.
It's
yes.
a reality. But you need that. And you know what? You can either let it destroy you or it can push you into your purpose.
Absolutely.
It can push you into this. The choice is
Absolutely.
yours at the end of the day.
It is.
So you actually need those things. I mean, if you were being supported in everything that you do, can you imagine how it would be? I mean, you would be this person that does not know anything. Everyone
You'll
just
just
say, okay, it's fine. I'm upset now. I'm angry. I'm disappointed, but I must go on. So we must just find it's a process that you go through, that you need to work on yourself every day. I personally meditate a lot about it, that you just need to carry on going, carry on moving, regardless of anything.
Also, those experiences in life, it shapes character. So for wherever you're going, you need to have a certain caliber of character. So if everyone is just, pushing you on and egging you on and saying, oh, you're doing so great, and when you get there and you do find your Judas there at the top, it will break you.
Yeah.
You need it's a journey step by step, and on every level you have to learn and deal with every devil on that.
Because that's also why they say there is a journey to the top, because once you get there, everything you've learned is what is going to keep you there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're just speeding through, you won't be able to stay
like
there
There's
long
quick
enough.
rich, get quick rich schemes. Like you
Yeah.
get, like you didn't build any character, and then the money comes and boom, it's gone. Cause
Like,
Yeah.
it's a pyramid scheme.
yeah.
But that comes to the end of our show today. I hope you
Really?
guys,
Already?
Wow.
I hope you guys enjoyed today. I'm not going to ask you for closing remarks because everybody literally said something that is.
I just want to say
Okay.
something. Sorry. I just also, as my closing, just to say that as much as we have an idea of what support for us needs to look like, we also need to remember that we also have to give support to people
Yeah.
and be mindful of that instead of just saying like, oh, this one's not supporting me and no one is supporting me and I need this and this and me. Like we also need to
Yeah.
look at ourselves in the mirror and see how we are supporting the other people around us.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. So don't want people to buy your tickets and then when it's time to buy their tickets, you don't have money. The same way they were going to make a plan for you. Make
Are we
a
giving
plan
away
for them.
tickets?
Do you want to, Lee? They want to give away 2 tickets on the show. Is there a possibility? How can we do that? Sorry,
Even if
I
it's
didn't
just
speak
one.
about it.
Yeah.
If anybody can just maybe
Comment in the comment section.
comment in the comment section. I know a lot of people already went off, so I don't know if anybody is going to comment. If there is still somebody.
Maybe you can do like an Instagram something.
Okay,
We'll do
yeah.
something.
Put the poster up so your details will be on there, right?
Yeah, the
So
details is
will
on
be
there.
But then we'll also put just like a number in the description afterwards.
Okay.
Oh,
So
perfect.
just save that, because I don't think they know.
Okay, so in the description, there's details below. We are giving away 2 tickets for somebody to come to tomorrow's event. If you want to come to it and you want to work on your mind, body, and soul,
Which is an
please
awesome
feel
opportunity.
free to DM one of us. Our handles are in the description. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.